All right. So, the last one, since nobody else is here, Cruz. Okay, come over here. All right, so another little story. Okay. So when I was with John Cho, I used to be like, man, it would be dope to have a gym with all of this. I used to tell Eduardo this too. I want to have this and that and all of these things, right? Jiu-jitsu wise. So I ended up meeting Cruz down, to cut the story a little short. I ended up meeting Cruz teaching I was a purple belt when I came back from New York. I ended up teaching some random MMA school for a friend of mine. That's where we met. Things went bad, but we stayed in contact, right? Cruz would randomly just hit me up, okay, and tell me some stuff. He'd come down to where I was living and train, whatever. I was still bouncing from Cabrinhas, so back home. So we just stayed in contact, and then I ended up teaching at a friend's Muay Thai school down the line after that. So I told Cruz, I was like, look, I need some help. If you could help me, we'll see how this goes. And then we started, and I was doing construction at the time, which I hated. But he was always there supporting, right? And it's crazy thinking about it now. Just like everything's just going in my head so fast because it was so much, and it feels like a short amount of time. Even though he's been a brown belt for like 5 years, literally. How long has it been?
I don't know.
Like 4 or 5.
We were talking about it earlier. How long have we been here at this gym?
Like 3.
Yeah. And it was like a couple of years.
Like 5.
One, right?
That's terrible. But anyways, not to rain on his parade, but he was always there in the beginning. He was a purple belt or brown belt back then, right? No, purple belt, right? At Wolverine. That's where I met Johnny. Johnny was there. Gus was there.
You gave me a purple belt right before we
started. Right? Yeah. So
I was a blue belt for 5 years too.
Blue belt for 5 years. He just got a bad track record of staying somewhere for 5 years. But
always late.
I had conversations with Joe about his brown belt too, because it's just like sometimes we got to push him out. Like we always say, you white belts that go to blue, oh, I'm not ready yet. Sometimes I got to throw you in the fire. Like when you have a great understanding of everything, sometimes I got to throw you out to push you to get better. And his problem is just not being fat and burrito-ish and being out of shape. That's his main problem. But nonetheless, going back to the story, is that he was always there as a friend, as Cho was for me, right? And it feels like I passed it on to Cruz. And he's helped me a lot along the way as well. And though he's going through he's got a real professional job and trying to balance his life to jiu-jitsu, but still trying to give back. He's always been there as a friend to help me build what we have here today. So I'm very grateful for him and to be able to give my first black belt ever to him. And it just so happened, give him some. And also too, it's kind of crazy. I didn't even know his dad was going to be here. So that's pretty cool. His dad got to see him as well. And that wasn't planned either. I was really on the fence, and I talked to Cho about it. And we were discussing everything, the pros and cons of everything. And, so now, you got anything to say?
I'll just say real quick, he's right. I've known him for a long time. He might not remember. He gave me my second and third stripe on my white belt in 2011. And correct, we just kind of stayed in contact. Where I was training, it was a wild time back then. There was only like one gym around here. I was talking about with someone earlier, and the main coach was a purple belt who, through another story, couldn't train there or teach there anymore, even though he owned it. And then he came out as a purple belt. Some people know the stories. Yeah, some people know the story, some people don't. And yeah, I always just stayed in contact with him. And he really makes it hard to think that I even understand or deserve this, because I can remember in my life, I don't think I've ever submitted him, and I maybe swept him 2 or 3 times. So to be getting this right now is kind of a surprise. And yeah, well, a thing he forgot a little bit is when he asked me to come help him at when he first started. I told him he had to make it happen because there was only 2 gyms, and these were the 2 guys that split, and they were kind of like Bloods and Crips. And it was a small program, and I was leaving the biggest program in the area. And I told him he had to promise me it was going to work, because I could never go back to the other place. And no, it's the truth. And here we are, you know. So he kept his promise. He made it work, and now I'm here. So I don't know. Hey, I don't know if you know this. You only give your first black belt one time in your life.
I only give my black belt once in my life. So another thing. Just because everybody's giving out samurai swords, okay, I wanted to give you something that represents me, our academy. Yeah. I'll keep that for myself. No, this is my favorite pocket knife. Okay, not only that, it's very expensive. Okay, but I had my logo engraved on it. Look at that. See that? All right. So
You gotta sacrifice your blood now.
so now just
Love brothers. Love brothers.
so now just a little. So now that he has this, it's just a part of. Not that he's not a part of the family anyway. Just a little something just to show you I appreciate
Thank you.
And finally, we'll just put this on so you can stay up here now.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm trying to suck it in while it keeps open, you know?
Should've worn your black one, bro. It's more shiny. Should've worked on Monday after the
I know.
I'll take your binder. Now you can stay with the club now.
Congratulations, man.
All right, so we're going to push through this.